So is Jinbe a good leader? Are there enough Fishmen to make a good deck? And what about the late game? What do you do about it? All that and more on today's deck profile showcase. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Mabi here, and today I'm going to be giving you my personal deck profile for this green Jinbe leader that came out in OP11. However, this is going to be for OP12 and below, but don't worry, once I get to the OP12 cards I will tell you some suitable OP12 replacements if you want to use this one. Okay, so the game plan for this Jinbe deck is a lot more simpler than the last one I did in OP11 that revolved around, you know, heavy removal, a lot of bouncing back. This one's more straightforward. It attacks characters, it's more aggressive, and I think it's just more consistent. Alright, so let's talk about every single card in this video breakdown. If you just want the deck profile, I recommend pausing the video and heading on over to my website, MabiTCG.com. There you can see this deck and many more in image and text format. Alright, so let's get started. Jinbe, Fishman, Straw Hat from OP11, 5000 striking leader, 5 life, mono green at the end of your turn. If you have 6 or less cards in your hand, set up to one of your Fishman or Merfolk type characters active and up to 1 Dawn as active. So this is really good because you have a lot of characters which attack, you know, pseudo rush, and it doesn't matter if the Fishman is a 2 cost or a 10 cost. There's no restrictions here. You're going to be able to set it back up. Also, with the 1 extra Dawn, that means you can be a little bit more defensive. So you're going to have around 6 or so different events here that can trigger with only 1 Dawn, making it pretty good. And even if you don't have any events in your hand at the time, it's still a threat on the board your opponent has to deal with. Okay, so that's the leader. Now let's talk about Kami. This is from OP06. This is 1/2/1. On play, look at the top 4 cards from your deck, reveal a Fishman or Merfolk, add it to your hand, and then the rest go to the bottom. This is great. About 80% of, and maybe 90% of your deck is Fishman or Merfolk, so you can go ahead and grab those. The bad thing is it's 4 costs because you're searching for, 4 cards because you're searching for 2 different archetypes here. And also, this character really doesn't do anything after you put it on the board. There's no way to kind of bounce it back or do anything fancy, so you're pretty much going to be just adding 3 Dawn later on when you have the time, and then attacking pretty much. So that's Kami. Really nice card, searching card for the deck. Next, it's your event card, Vagabond Drill from OP11. This costs 1. Counter up to one of your Fishman or Merfolk type leaders or characters, which is you or a bunch of your other ones. Gains 3000 power during the battle, which is pretty decent, especially for like a somewhat free active Dawn at the end of your turn, assuming you have 6 or less cards in your hand. Then you go ahead and rest a 3 cost or less. So the second part's okay. Okay, the trigger here is rest up to like 4 costs or less. That's also pretty okay. We're only running 2 in here because the most important one is going to be this Gum Elephant Gatling, which you want to see way more than Vagabond Drill, but you still want a couple of extra ones, which is why we're running 6 total, 4 here and 2 here. OP11, this costs 1 main. You can rest 1 Dawn to rest a character 5 or less, meaning you need 2 Dawn to activate this. You can usually use this to rest a blocker and go for a game, etc. Then the counter here is your leader gains 3000 power. So this is a little weaker because you have different scenarios. So this is characters, but this is your leader only, and there's no trigger. But this is a great card regardless. You want to see all of these 4. Okay, so time for Vanderdecken. This is from OP06, 2/1. On play, you're going to be trashing a Fishman or an Arc Noah from your hand. There's no Arc Noah in this deck, but you have a lot of Fishmen. If you do, you get to KO an opponent's rested character. It doesn't matter anything as long as it's rested. It could be a 10 cost Shanks. You can go ahead and destroy it. We're running 3 in here. This is not the main focus of the deck. In the previous Jinbe deck I showed you from OP11, which you can check out on the website, Vanderdecken is much more prominent there. We're still running 3 in that one and this one, but you're going to be able to bounce it back and forth and even play it with, you know, cheat it out with a couple of characters, but you don't really need it that much in here. This is a good KO card if you really need to towards the late game. Next off, we have Hammond from OP06, or Hammond. 2/1. This is just a chump 2 blocker, 2 cost blocker. It can be searched from the Fishman. It can be trashed by Vanderdecken, so that's why it's in here. It just has really good archetypes for the deck, and you don't really have a lot of blockers anyway, so this is good to just throw out just in case you really need one. Okay, next is going to be Arlong, some EBO2 alternate art, 3/4/1. On play, if your leader is Fishman or East Blue, which it is, give 1 rested Dawn to one of your leaders, which the time you play this, it's going to be turn 2, whether or not you have 3 or 4 Dawn, you can activate this, give 1 extra Dawn to your leader, then attack, though at that moment, it's super early, your opponent might not care if you're attacking them for 5 or 6. But anyway, it's really good because up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less cannot be rested until your opponent's next turn. Meaning if you use this mid towards late game, if they have a 4 or 5 cost attacker, you can activate that, they can't attack with the next turn, or even better yet, you might not think about this, but if they have blocker, they can't activate the blocker for that character. So kind of just like this card, the Gum Gum Elephant, you're using 2 to rest a 5 or less. This one prevents a 5 or less just by playing a 3 cost plus a body, so they can't rest to block. So that's another really good opportunity here. Makes it so you can really get around, blockers, etc. And also it has one Dawn extra to make it a 5,000, very, very low sort of commitment to make him an actual 5 cost attacker. And if you end up doing it pretty early, you have him on the field and you just want to attack, but you're afraid of being attacked by your opponent afterwards, usually with your leader ability 6 or less, you can go ahead and make sure you have 6 or less, and then at the end of your turn, bring Arlong back up, and then another Dawn, and then you're good to go. He's safe from pretty weak attackers. So we're running 3 of these just for that scenario. Okay, now we're running 2 Tashigis from OP10 alternate art. 342. If you have a green character other than Tashigi that would be removed by the field by opponent's effect, you may rest this character instead. We're running 2 because they're not searchable by Kami. Also, they can't be trashed by the Vanderdecken, and we're not cheating them out in this deck. So it's really nice if you don't have the Arlongs, or you're like, I don't want to play Arlong this time, I'm just going to throw out one of these Tashigis. So your turn 2, 3 or 4 Dawn, you have a lot of good plays. This is one of the good ones because you have really decent late game cards. You have a 6, 7, and you have a 9 cost card that you do want to protect from effects. So this one will help you in those scenarios. This is nice because your opponent, it's any removal. This is great. You rest it to be able to be used again. It's such a great card. Okay, now we have Arlong. We're getting more aggressive towards the mid game. Here we go. OP06 460. On play, you can trash 1 card from your hand. Up to one of your opponent's rested leaders cannot attack until the end of your opponent's turn. Do I even have to mention how good this is against OP12 Zoro and STO2 Kid? This is really good, making sure they can't attack multiple times and not even one time. So super strong in OP12, especially with the Zoro meta, if you want to kind of mess with them, because yeah, they're gonna lose out on a lot of attacks. But yeah, it's good in general because if you know your opponent's gonna be relying on their leader to do a heavy attack next turn, this will really stop it. You have a bunch of cards in your hand that might be bricks, like himself, the late game Hody Joneses, the Zoros, that will end up being trash. So this will really help sift it out for that ability. So nice, really cool, right? But remember, they have to be rested, but usually they're gonna attack anyway. The trigger here is rest a 4 cost or less, which might come into play here and there, especially if they are going really low and attacking wide. You can go ahead and rest one of their weaker characters to maybe save you either a life or some extra Dawn. So yeah, this is a brick, 6,000, and once again, just like with that other Arlong, you can restand this no problem to attack again next turn. So that's 4 of them because they're really strong. Okay, time for some Jimbe's promo 06. P06, this is 452, nothing much here. On play, rest up to a 1 cost or less. This usually won't come into play. Yeah, some people run really chump blockers, like a 1 cost law, 1 cost beiges, etc. But it usually won't come into play. It's primarily going to be here for a 2k counter and a searchable 2k, as well as a Fishman that can be trashed by the Vanderdecken. These are great cards. If you can't grab these, some more 2ks would be the Hachan, the 4 cost one, that like the really OP01, I think OP01 or OP02, or maybe even OP03, I forgot where it is, but Hachan, the 4 cost, etc. Okay, so we're going to 4 of these. Time for Fisher Tiger. This card's really good. So OP07 561, running 4 of these. This character can attack opponent's characters on the turn it's played, meaning it is a pseudo rush. It can attack legal characters, meaning only rested characters, unless you give him the ability to attack active characters, which maybe. So on play, you can, if your leader is Fishman or Merfolk, which it is, rest up to one of your opponent's 6 or less. Now, by the time you play this, if you play this on curve, your opponent's gonna have a 6 or less. You can easily rest one of those and attack right into it. Super powerful, strong, and once again, I'm gonna keep saying this, but your leader ability is super good. You can bring this card back up. If you have multiple Fishmen, you're just gonna have to choose the best one with the with the highest attack, with the best sort of abilities, ongoing abilities to restand it. So a great card. You're definitely running 4 of these in here. Now we have some Kawamatsus from OP12. This is one of the new OP12 cards that we're adding. This is 562, has nothing here. It is just a 5 cost 2k. The reason being, it's because your 5-cost curve is only Fisher Tiger. If you somehow miss and don't grab this and you do want to play on curve, at least you can play this. Otherwise, once again, Fishman searchable. It can be trash for the Vanderdecken. If you want to replace this, you can go ahead and grab in more of the Hachons like I talked about, or maybe even like any more generic really good 2K greens, like even more Tashigis. They're really good, but they're here to make it more consistent to fill out your 5-drop curves, just in case. Okay, time for one of the best cards of your deck, Jinbe from OP11 alternate art. 680 on play. If your leader is Fishman or Merfolk, which it is, rest a character that's 5 or less. Awesome, great. You can attack into them, be really annoying. Both of these characters back to back, just, oh my god, your opponent's like, ugh, I gotta keep countering out. It's so annoying. Then activate made once per turn up to one of your Fishmen or Merfolk can attack characters the same turn they are played. So pretty much Jinbe can rest the character on, curve 6 or curve 7, then attack something 8,000. Technically, if you next turn he's on the board, he can already attack anybody he wants. You can throw out a Kawamatsu and be able to attack pseudo rush. Luckily, Fisher Tiger is already a pseudo rush, but then you can also have this Arlong and this other Arlong to be able to pseudo rush thanks to Jimbe. Really strong card, and this is probably one of the best ones to protect and bring up with your leader's ability, because the threat here of always giving another Fishman or Merfolk type, the rushing is really good. There's also the card from OP11, Surume. It's another 2K. That's another one you can add to the deck. It's also a, it's not a Merfolk, but it's a Fishman Island card, which can be searched by Kami. It's a 5 cost as well. So yeah, another one is Surume if you need more 2Ks to replace some things in the deck. Okay, so time for these new Arlongs as well from OP11 771. If your leader is Fishman and you have 3 or less life and your opponent has 5 or more rested cards, give this card in your hand -3 cost. So the -3 cost will make it a 4,000 power. A really powerful Jinbe as well, being able to pseudo rush as a 7,000 leader. Nice counter. And yeah, by the time you play this, you're gonna have to have taken at least 2 life, hopefully. So you can go ahead and activate that. Okay, so if you are interested in how this triggers, it's any rested card. Leader counts as rested card. Characters and dons, they all count as rested. 5 or more, that's not a problem when you're most likely hitting this. Now, if it's all attached, then well, at least hopefully you have some board tempo then. And yeah, there you go. So this is great. Running 3 of these. Next off, it's going to be Hody Jones. This is from OP06 alternate art 780. It has rush on its own, so even if you have that Jimbe, don't worry, you can just throw us on the field. 8,000 power. On play, rest a 2 of your opponent's characters or don cards. 2 characters, 2 dons, 1 character, 1 don, a mix of both, etc., or up to 1. Then add 1 card from the top of your life to your hand. Your leader is very tanky, and honestly, when playing this leader, I found myself just simply playing Hody Jones in general, because once again, you have 5,000 power, and because you rush in, you can go ahead and grab something on the board and just be super annoying and destroy it. And also, you're going to be adding a top card for your life to your hand. That's usually not a problem here. But yes, with your leader, you can also set this one back up, which is this Hody and your Jimbes. These are your strongest 8,000 Fishermen that you're going to be restanding with your ability to make sure they don't get attacked on your opponent's turn. We're running 3 of these. And time for the final card of the deck. We have these Zoros. This is from OP06 990's alternate art. So this is not a Fishman, however, it's really, really good for the deck, because you are so annoying with all of your stuff to clear the board. Your opponent wants to destroy these cards, and your leader's tanky. You have, when you restand Dawn or leave 1 Dawn up, you're going to be using Vagabond Drill and Elephant Gun to make sure that hopefully by the time you play Zoro, you at the very, very minimum have at least 2 life. So you have a buffer that you can activate, so you can be able to use him on the next turn, because this is a very slow play card. He doesn't do anything as soon as you play it, but the next turn it's a menace. 990. When attacking once per turn, you you activate 1 Dawn. Spend 1 Dawn to restand him. So this is a when attacking. So add as much Dawn as you want. Attack, activate that, and then he's back up, and then countering and stuff goes. Then you can attack again, and then later on during that turn, you can do 2 more Dawn rested to set this guy back as active. So that's pretty much how you're going to want to play this. You're going to be getting major benefits. Yeah, you can attack 999, but next turn, right, you're going to be having 10 Dawn after you play this. You can put at least 2 Dawn on him to swing 3 times and a lot of other really annoying stuff. So Zoro is going to help you win games. Unfortunately, like I said, it's not searchable by the deck, but hey, that's pretty much okay. It's going to go mid to late game, so you're probably going to find it. So that is the deck. As I mentioned, it's a lot more aggressive than the last Jinbe deck that I showed you. If you want to see that one, once again, the website Mabi TCG has it. It has like 8-drop kid, it has some Rosinantes, more Tashigis, it has the 5-cost Fisher Tiger, I think it's Fisher Tiger, the one that on block can summon a 3-cost. So lots of ways to specifically summon Vander Decken, but I feel like this deck just, you know, being able to rest their stuff, be aggressive, and because you are attacking a lot, you could restand them to make it so the opponent can't even remove them. This deck will definitely suffer from a little bit of removal, so if you want to add even more of these Tashigis, I recommend it. Or if you want even more, the 2-cost blocker of Rosinante that protects your rested green characters are really good as well. So let me know what you guys think about this Jinbe deck. Make sure to like and subscribe. We cover every single leader for all the sets going forward for this and a lot more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.